Cup Studio, live. 2021 GSL Super Tournament, Season 3.
All right, guys, we are seeing some one-sided matches comparatively here tonight, especially that last one with Solar just flexing over Zoun, looking fantastic. He goes to the round of 4. We have one more match left to see who else is going to join them up here. And of course, the most accomplished Terran, the most accomplished GSL player of all time, Maru.
herO's got his work cut out for him, man. Maru is one of the best in the world. Has been for a very, very, very long time. And herO, I mean, coming back here, we were talking a little bit during the break. You think we're going to see some cheese this series,
oh, dude,
huh?
I know it. I would bet everything I own in the whole world that herO is just going to cheese his ass off against Maru. It is like, I mean, herO, when he's at full power, he can actually play a very good macro game of PvT.
Yeah, we've seen
so
it before.
I don't want to say he can't, but I mean, he just came back. Maru's on fire right now. He's winning everything. He's playing at his top. And it's time for herO to bust out the dirtiest stuff that he has. He needs to throw sand in Maru's eyes and then kick him in the groin. In Protoss terms, of course, which is even more painful.
If it works, ladder is going to be painful for a lot of people for a long time after this. But herO, I mean, we've always known him to be one of the best controlling Protoss players and one of the more creative Protoss players too, especially with his little cheeses and aggressions, always bringing something new to the table. As we see our map list here for match number 4. Set 1 will be on Hardwire, followed by Berlingrad, Glittering Ashes, Curious Mind, and 2000 Atmosphere. It's really not seen a lot of Pride of Altaris.
No. Yeah, we really haven't. I think we saw it once on day 1, and that's about it.
I think it might have been map 5 in one of the series. It didn't go to map 5 in this series.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Wonder what's going on with that one. Not a map that I'm super familiar with.
No, me either.
Anyway, here we are on Hardwire, Maru versus herO. Maru, the probably clear favorite with herO coming back.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. Maru, I mean, he should be the favorite of everything he's in right now with his recent track record. But we'll see. I think herO is good at mind games. He's good at micro. He's good at aggression, and we'll see if that's enough to take down Maru.
All right, let's go. Set number 1 here on Hardwire, Maru versus herO.
Game start.
Yeah, and I really like this, honestly.
Oh my god.
If you're playing against cheese, you may as well cheese, man, because you're going to have a lot more units. You're not just going to die making a command center. I like it.
Well, we've seen a lot of this so far in the round of 8 here in Super Tournament, and we're going to be seeing more the final match, I guess.
Think about it for a second here. It makes sense because the first round, you have a lot longer to prepare. The second round, you don't.
Oh.
So it's like easier to play on cheeses.
He's harassing. I thought this was a proxy, but he's just going straight into the main, and he immediately identifies that there is a proxy barrack somewhere on the map. That is, huh.
Look at this. Offline, Maru 9-2 against herO. Online, when it matters, Maru steps up to the plate. When it does not, Protoss victorious.
Maybe herO just like needs to be in his pajamas to win tournament games against Maru or something. Something that playing at home might make him more comfortable. Yeah. But, all right, so looking like it's probably going to be Proxy Reaper. Double gas going down right now. Question is, will that factory be on the map, or will it be in the main base of Maru? I'm thinking probably the main, since he did get scouted.
I think so. I think you're right about that. Like, it'd be a little bit weird if he proxies it out there as well and just doesn't have anything at home forever against this pro.
Nice Sim City right now, though. They're at the base of herO. I mean, usually the Zealot is, I mean, always the Zealot is not very good at dealing with the Reaper. It's just so slow, and the Reaper moves so fast and regenerates.
If you have nothing, though, you can't set up any traps that makes it turn around, you know?
Yeah, and there's no threat to the Reaper at all. It never needs to stutter step or move away from anything. But with this SimCity, that Zealot might actually be more value than it would be otherwise. And I like the little cheeky pylon there. Classic herO move. Just any little annoyance you can do. And this is actually coming up with an SCV.
He's going to try to send his mothership core across the map and realize, oh, damn, I was in the military too long, man.
All right, one probe going down. SCV's going to go down the back as well. But yeah, he got a lot of damage on that probe with it.
Yeah, and he gets the one that's in his main base as well.
Oh,
he
might be able to catch.
I think
probably
he just
not.
barely lives here.
Probably not. Oh, he got it! Nice.
Yeah,
Way to go! It's always so close once that shade comes in. It's got to be like barely ahead of the Reaper. You can't afford any jukes, but actually, maybe herO not anticipating the second Reaper coming in.
Yeah, I guess.
Pull some probes, but the Adept does clean that up. Maybe he anticipated after all. Maybe he's just the better player. He's playing out of his mind right now. We'll see.
Well, herO right now with that Stargate going Phoenix on one base. Not what I anticipated there.
Phoenix expand.
Okay.
I mean, the Phoenix is really good against a lot of the early units coming out of the factory, and he knows that it's a Widowmine. If he gets some Phoenixes out and he's able to bait the Widowmine shot like that, not only does he have the potential to kill it, as that one actually kind of gets stuck by the wall with the pylon.
Look at this. Okay.
With two Phoenixes, he can start to kill these. He actually shaded
in!
He got it!
Oh, I like it a lot.
herO. Yeah, there's nothing else in the main base to deal with this.
Yeah, that's highly annoying, isn't it? He's going to have to land this Viking to deal with
Don't see Vikings fighting Adepts very often in Mineral Lines of Terran.
What a wild-looking game.
My goodness.
Shades the side, eats the Widowmine shot. I guess what can you do?
Yeah. Phoenixes will clean up the Reaper, so no more of that, but kind of liking this 3 Phoenixes. Usually in low numbers against factory units, Phoenixes, they can find some kind of value, especially against Widowmines. Phoenixes, I think one of the only, them and the Oracle are often built early in games, but Phoenixes, they can actually tank a shot from that Widowmine and then go and pick it up if there isn't too much damage around.
Well, there's a Cyclone now, so you do have to be a little bit careful. Brings a couple Gateway units up with his 3 Phoenixes, and yeah, that's enough to make them turn around for sure.
2 Vikings and a Widowmine is pretty deadly there with the Cyclone. But I quite like this. It makes kind of any kind of push out that might come from Maru is significantly more awkward to execute with those Phoenixes on the field.
And now 3rd Nexus coming up from herO. So these two, I mean, it feels like the game is basically stabilizing. I don't think either of them can really do much to each other right now.
I think you're right.
But I like the timing of this 3rd base. He's getting this off of just about nothing. He has a Zealot, he has an Adept, and he has 3 Phoenixes, and he has a 3rd Nexus.
But what he does have with those units is map control. So he's going to be able to know exactly when Maru is moving out, and he's going to be able to keep him up stuck in his base with little moves like this. I mean, picking up 2 SCVs for hull damage. Might actually lose 1 Phoenix. No, look at that.
Yeah, it just barely gets out of there.
It's surprisingly going into Blink. I thought this might be a charge play with all the gateways going down.
Right, yeah.
Huh.
Kind of funny to see Blink, though. You're definitely right about that. It catches me off guard because he has Phoenixes, and those kind of fulfill the same...
This is mass Blink. He's building 5 more gateways. I actually... The more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm liking this, because if Maru does try to find some damage...
You know what? You're actually right, because he's playing against this anti-Stargate tech. Like, those units, the Vikings and the Cyclones, don't really do much. He only has 1 tank. Normally, if you're playing against, like, Blink into your main, you want 3-4 tanks, right?
I like this. And if he does do this and he executes it, if Maru is, like, caught out of position, he could potentially even lift up some of the tanks with the Phoenixes while he blinks in, with the Stalkers in. At the same time, he doesn't even really need to push across the map. Like, if Maru decides to get aggressive, Mass Blink Stalker at this stage in the game is... You can't run away from that. It will destroy you. And those Cyclones would go down in a second to him.
Oh, this is cool. It's very decisive play from herO, which I like as well. He's not trying to make, like, a full-bodied, beautiful Protoss army that's meant to be able to deal with anything. He's got a few different scenarios where this is really strong. And there you go. That's a strong herO way to play. All right, Charge is on the way now as well. He's actually just, like, not using the warp gates very much. Look at this, adding 2 forges, getting his robo.
Almost playing this like a Zerg, just building the warp gates so that he can build units in case he needs to defend against some kind of attack. And instead, I mean, he sees no attack coming. He's just slowly building a small number of gateway units to play it safe, and the rest of the money's just going straight into macro. We got charge, double forge even going down now. I'm loving this play out of herO. He has not skipped a beat.
Yeah, but Maru's playing just steadily and solidly right now, right? He's massing. He's scanning. He's trying to figure out exactly what he's up against.
All right. This is an army that can finally contest with Blink Stalkers, too. This is...
This can contest with just about anything. herO, I think, actually went a little bit too far and agreed. He made all those gates. He did not make many units. And he's going double forge. Like, his army is quite a bit smaller.
At least charge will finish up in time, but I'm not too sure about this 1-1 right now. I wouldn't even mind seeing herO cancel that to try and crush this attack as much as he can, because if there is a third CC on the way, it is very late, and that's a huge Terran army.
Yeah, he has a bunch of zealots behind this, but yeah, this does not look very good right now. Maru, oh god, he's gonna go for a counterattack. Okay.
But the rallies are just gonna be able to clean this up.
No, it looks like Maru's just gonna finish him here.
Maybe, that's a lot of charge zealots coming in. Kiting is quite good there by Maru. These charge zealots come with a flank, and he's able to salvage the third base. This might be playable.
Does he have time to salvage his third base?
I think it's going to go down, but here comes... Oh, it's still up, and here come the Zealots. He's going to get a really nice surround there. Pulling the probes. Pulling the boys to try and fight this as well. Blinkstalker's coming in, but no, that's not quite enough.
Yeah, it looks like just about everything is falling. 19 probes already died. The Stalker's starting to get picked off here as well. Rallying up more units as well as Widow Mines. Landed Vikings get their revenge upon that Immortal finally.
Yeah, a little bit too greedy, it seems. Even if herO is miraculously able to stabilize here, he's taken so much damage down to 38 workers against.
Yeah, and Maru hasn't taken damage, so I mean, he can just sit there and macro out and then do that again.
He will catch some Widow Mines, I think. How do you get none out of that?
Yeah.
Making me look a fool.
It was a greedy target on one of the further ones.
Yeah. I mean, this trade is not bad for him, but the supply really tells the story right now. 104 to 56, 52.
Yeah, things have gone wrong here. Many things for herO.
I think you were right. I think it was just a little bit too much greed. Even one more round of warpins and delayed upgrades might make the difference there in terms of defending that attack, and not building the zealots, or not having the zealots that you make rally immediately across the map for a counter either. I mean, if he had like that round of zealots plus one more because he didn't play quite as greedy, I feel like that's defendable, you know? With good positioning.
Yeah, another full round of zealots, charge finishes. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he can kind of sandwich it all well enough.
As it is right now, though, I think we're kind of going to see herO die a slow, painful death. Okay, he'll save us.
He's going to pull the plug himself. Okay, so Maru takes game one. Kind of an interesting game. herO right now, you can see kind of like shaking his head a little bit.
Well, he did play very well. He put himself in a good position to succeed with the way that game went. I mean, remember, that was a very fast proxy barracks out for Maru, and herO dealt with it really well. He lost two probes at home, but that was only because Maru also brought an SCV with it, which he killed. So one worker deficit there. Dealt with a second Reaper perfectly fine, too. Got his expansion up, went into some really interesting tech. I liked a lot of what we were seeing out of herO. Just a little bit too greedy there in the mid-game, trying to circuit a little too hard.
I think the third Nexus was a great idea.
Yeah.
The Blink was strange, but I liked the ideas you were given for it.
There were a lot of different ways that could have paid off that didn't manifest,
but to not make units out of your gates very much, you kind of skip it all, go double forge Robo as well. It's a little bit much, and that's why we see some players, you know, kind of avoid that, right? Like, how did Zoun come back against Ryung?
Right.
Because he was skipping out on some of those upgrades.
All right, let's see what adjustments herO makes in game two.
Team NV, Maru. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, herO.
Already setting a probe across the map, and this time he is doing it for a proxy.
All right. And that is, that's his first pylon, isn't it?
It is. That's a very fast proxy.
Yeah, that
it's
is
about as fast as you can
send
get
it immediately. It is as fast. Get it.
Get we going down as well. And there's a Makarox. Okay.
Well, that barracks placement might not end up being optimal against what hero's doing here. I could see that being a bit problematic, right?
Yeah, I don't think it matters quite as much for the Reaper, but as time progresses, if you're building if you want to build any other unit, you lose like 15, 20 seconds of production time. Bringing that back to your main base. And
not part of your wall either, so you might have to throw an extra building down more quickly.
I hadn't even thought about that. He's going to come in and scout this. Double gas again.
He's going to...
For Maru.
Yeah. He'll have to think about maybe a shield battery in his main or something if that Reaper goes across, because he's not going to have anything there for a while.
And Zealot's going to be chrono boosted out. I wonder if he's going to save them.
I think, okay, so he doesn't know where the proxy barracks is, and if it's right next to his base, he needs the Zealot to go up.
Okay.
If it's at home, or if the Reaper goes home, obviously setting it up is not optimal. But otherwise, he's going to lose a lot of probes.
Oh, no. Maru knows what's happening as well. He's engineering bay blocking the natural, and his Reaper's coming over to deal with this. And he might get one SCV here. Not quite, but this is...
Watching his Zot slowly walk towards a Reaper is so sad.
Oh, okay. Gets the SCV there. Better than the worst case scenario. In the meantime, herO with no interest in expanding, building a Stargate behind that pylon as well. And here comes the probe ready for batteries. And Maru knows exactly what build is in store here. And getting the probe here is big.
It really is. That's fantastic. Another one has to be sent out. Okay, this is all it gets in.
It's going to get surrounded, though.
Yeah. Some damage. Good micro.
Okay. Yeah, three SCVs. You take that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the Zealot doesn't really have any other value right now, I think, anyways. Now, that all being said, he cancels the pylon in the natural, so he's going to change his plan into an Oracle, which is, I think, the right play, right? That game that we saw Cure play, this was starting to look a little bit like that.
It was.
And, you know, I mean, the way that Cure held it, I think Maru would just do the same.
herO, unfortunately, going to have to take this forward expansion because the engineering bay is still there in the natural.
Oh, that's not...
Yeah,
that's not what you want.
The probe went down to the natural, and it was just like the saddest thing. It just sat there for a few moments and collected itself before going to the third. And
dude, I think herO is going to die. Okay, so Maru cancels that. Maru's Reaper just saw where the Stargate is, what the Stargate's making, and where the third base is. Okay?
And if you draw a line on the map for units to go kill that Stargate and Gateway and then go kill the third, it's pretty much just like, it's pretty much optimal, you know? It's
This is, I don't know exactly what Maru is going to do here, but the best Terran in the world is going to punish many things coming up.
This is going to be tough. I'm trying to put myself in herO's shoes and think of what play really saves the day here, and it looks like he's probably going to go for Blink again. The Twilight Cancel is going up in a Gateway. I would be surprised if we saw Charge. There's a Blink researching.
Oracle into Blink is pretty solid. We saw a Trap kind of work a little bit of magic with that when he was in a kind of weak position. Makes a lot of sense.
herO is just so exposed, though. I feel like Protoss have... I mean, Terran buildings can fly, so they never really have to deal with this issue. So it's really just it's Protoss and Zergs that can get like blocked there at the natural. But for Zerg taking the forward expansion, like it can kind of be a boon if you decide to play aggressively because you are rallying more quickly across the map. But for Protoss, it's just a complete loss. That's going to be such a tough...
Oh my god,
wow.
That blocked his command center. That was absolutely not what he wanted.
herO wouldn't make that mistake. Oh man, these Oracles actually finding clutch value here too. I didn't even see him come in. 5 SCVs go down.
That's awesome.
That's really good. He's at 18 workers.
Wow.
Maru's on 18 workers.
And
the Stalkers are finding damage at the natural.
Oh my god.
Blink is
herO's
more than halfway done.
herO's making this train wreck of an opener work out for him. Like, all of his stuff's in the middle of the map, but... Okay, here Maru goes. Blink is almost done.
I'm looking at that army, though, and I'm thinking maybe one more round of Warpins. One more round of Warpins at the third base with 2 Oracles, and maybe you could take that fight, but actually a lot of SCVs are coming along too.
How many gates does he have at home?
I want to say it's 2.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's building 2 more. I think he's going up to 4 right now, and that Nexus is... I think he might just sack it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's going for a... Is he going for a base trade?
You may as well. You're not going to stop that army.
Oh, that's...
Okay.
Okay. I guess some of the siege tanks splash one on the Marines.
Yeah.
The medevacs will be slightly lower, man.
I mean, you can't blame herO. He's in a terrible spot here. Even though he did a bunch of damage, obviously he does not have the army that can actually win. So he's trying to force a base trade. He's making more gates. He has a shield battery here, but
losing Stalkers as well is tough. Losing it all 2 more there. Yeah, this is not a winning game.
I'm trying to think of like the craziest scenario where he can pull this out, but I don't think it exists.
I think even if Maru like were to disconnect or have his computer crash, it's like, no, you
yeah, the referee would be like, we're giving him the map.
I don't think
there's no replaying this one.
We'll see what kind of magic herO can work with 1. 5 Stalkers, I guess, and 2 Oracles, but that's that can't can't get anything done here.
He's chasing the buildings that are flying away, but there's like even if Protoss buildings could float, you know, there's a Viking, so it doesn't. There's no way for him to do it. Maru could force a draw, but he could not. herO is very, very dead.
He's gonna try and see if he can find something to make happen here, but there's really nothing in the cards, it feels like. I mean, 5 Stalkers and 2 Oracles. I guess, like, you get 1 insane money stasis.
I don't, like, what? You would need everything but, like, the tank in the stasis, then your second stasis would have to do something similar, you know?
maybe he's, like, developed this timing where, like, he's worked. We've seen Adept Shades dodge Widow Mines, right? Maybe herO could finesse it hard enough, like the second stasis pops right when the previous one ends.
Yeah, there you go. And you make it in just the right spot so that you're getting like an exact amount of units.
Like 80% of the army, whittle away. Do that with like 3 or 4 consecutive stasis and maybe you can win the game.
That would be the game of the century.
It would be.
The greatest game of all time.
He's actually just going to fortify the base, and I think when herO sees this, I mean, it's just going to be lights out.
Picks up his tanks.
There's no answer here.
Go and harass the Oracles. Get behind that mineral line. Kill those SCVs.
Bring it from 16 down to 12. Just solidify your position. He's going to go for it, but nah.
He still has buildings. Why is he leaving? He still has a Stargate that's unpowered and a gateway.
If only this was Age of Empires, he was playing Mongol. He could run his little race cars around the map. Oh, Maru looking kind of unstoppable right now. I'm liking what we're seeing by herO, but Maru, I mean, best Terran in the world. He's just on another level.
Yeah, he's definitely showing it here, just deflecting everything that herO wants to do. That initial Reaper hunting down the probe, amazing.
Just completely throwing a wrench, because I think even if herO were to try to send another probe across the map, you don't know where the barracks is. Yeah. He's going to have Reapers.
It gets intercepted, that's it.
Maru is not going to let that thing go. Like, it's going to get intercepted pretty much no matter what. So I'm kind of liking what we're seeing out of herO. I'm liking that he's taking these risks. He's coming up with pretty kind of unique creative play styles. Really herO-esque play that is reminiscent of him when he was at the top of his game, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, map 1, he even probably could have had a chance at that if he played it a little bit different in the mid-game.
Maybe. Like, I think he'll come back to the level where he can beat Maru, but it feels like tonight is not going to be that night.
All right, here we go. Set 3, Glittering Ashes. Can herO come back? These SCVs, man.
It's a great plan for Maru, honestly. If he just keeps playing aggressive, being aggressive gives you lots of information. It also makes you, in a lot of ways, more sturdy in the early game. if your opponent is going to be aggressive as well, it's like you haven't. The reason why people are aggressive in the early game is to punish fast expansions, which is what you normally see.
We need a hero. We need one indeed.
Well, Maru's your hero. There you go.
Oh, is he going to scout this? That might give him a chance.
That's a great opener if he scouts
Yeah,
that.
if he gets that scout off, I think he's going to get it. Oh, he just beeline straight for it. Oh, no.
Imagine.
Not like this.
Oh, look at this.
Not like this.
And then it
oh,
slides
not like
over.
this.
Now, this is how pro Terrans play, is their SCV goes where they
Oh,
want it.
not
Are
like
you kidding me?
this.
I can't. What are... Do you see this? Are you watching? I can't even. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. This is reminiscent. This is the Terran equivalent of like building 3 pylons behind like your mineral line and making a cannon.
Yeah.
It's just absurd.
It is.
I can't believe.
There you go. No.
It's still like 15 HP. It's not like, going down. I cannot believe that this finished.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense.
That is the most absurd SCV micro I've seen on the proxy barracks of all time.
It was great micro, but also RNG still could have screwed him there. If it was constantly trying to pop out, I think herO could have killed it still. But
that's possible.
The depot up at top really helped as well, I think. Right? Like that blocked a whole angle that he could have come in from.
I wonder. Yeah, it's a lot to get into, but I wonder how much RNG. I know there is a lot of RNG, but I wonder how much you can kind of game it, because it seemed like Maru was doing this trick where he kept having it mine a little bit, or build a little bit, and then cancel, and then build a little bit, and it wouldn't go all the way through.
Yeah, I think maybe it was trying to slide the whole time, and he was
stopping
cancel, go, cancel, go,
like,
cancel, go,
if you know the pattern, you can cancel it, and Yeah, because you can kind of feel where the SCV is going by its acceleration as it's building, right? So it did look like he was cancel go like a ton of times there. So yeah, maybe you can completely game it in that situation. Behind this
I'm really
hero,
not sure.
Behind this hero's actually going for a proxy Stargate. A lot of proxies in this best of 3, man.
Yeah.
Maru's smelling it. Star senses tingling.
Yeah, he's gonna find it. Sees the Oracle. herO has got to just be like, oh man.
And he's gonna have a Cyclone pretty much right when that reaches his base, and that'll shut down a lot of potential harassment, and that ended up gonna do a little bit of damage to the Reaper, but nothing going there. He will get the scout off, but is he gonna bank him? I don't think that's gonna work. I think he's gonna try and wait for 2 and pick off some SCVs, but Maru's even building a second Cyclone and a Viking.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty good on the defense there, no doubt. Nexus is almost halfway done here. 3rd Oracle on the way. All right, turns one on and kills off that Reaper finally.
Twilight and Forge coming up now for herO. I guess I'm trying to think of what adjustments you make if you're herO to try and come back from this 2-0 deficit. And I think at this position...
Coming back from a 2-0 deficit against Maru.
It's pretty tough. It's like, pretty tough.
Yeah. Well, right now, he is the best player in the world, right?
Right.
If you look at his recent results and everything, like, he's the guy. So it's... like, even if Rogue is down right now 2-0 against Maru, I think it's a very tough situation to try to think your way into how to come back.
Absolutely, but we are going to see Blink again with +1 ground weapons, excuse me. And I think that I want to see if we go up to 6 gateways or if we take a late 3rd with this, because this kind of is reminiscent of the game number 1 where we saw herO kind of play in a way where he set himself up such that if Maru did decide to push across the map early, he could punish.
Yeah.
And this is looking like another really good version of that. Actually getting a little bit of good damage here too.
Yeah, not too bad. Picking off
the 4th one?
Not quite.
Oh, setting up for these 3 oracles, but I like the idea.
Draw everything kind of down and all attention to one area, flying with those oracles. All right, third Nexus gets started.
The scary thing for me, though, is if Maru just decides to amass an army like we saw him do in map number 1 and then finally push across with it, like maybe a good bunch of bio and potentially Widow Mines and Siege Tanks.
Yeah.
It could be really, really tough for herO to deal with, especially with these late RoboBay compositions, because gateway units, they are quite tough to maneuver in those kind of fights. It's hard to get value hits. One Stasis might be able to set something up, but I don't think we really have the units here for herO to do anything with this.
No. And I mean, there's a Raven out here as well, so he just disarms that other one. The 3 oracles still, I mean, they'll find some use, I'm sure, keeping track of what's going on, and I think Stasis Wards are still useful to use.
He was really investing a lot of energy in those Stasis. The Oracle probably would just die immediately in a straight-up fight, so you might as well try and find some value with him here besides the Revelation. But charge, RoboBay, robotics facility coming up for herO, going in a +2 ground weapons, and I think, oh, he's actually exposed a little bit here. He's going to get a cancel on that third.
Hey, pretty nice, actually. You see the Oracle's doing a decent amount, right? Like, he forces the cancel, and obviously sees the mines there with the Revelation, picks them off, blinks out.
Getting the full intel with those oracles allows him to make plays like that get a little bit of value. He's going to cancel the third again, I think.
Really?
Wow, yeah.
Nice.
This is pretty good play out here from herO, and
I like it, yeah.
I don't know if you guys were around like 2016, 2017 when the meta for PvT was pretty much like 3 or 4 gate Blink Stalker Observer on like every single map, but herO was the best in the world at doing that. It was him and Party.
Yeah.
They were just absolute killers, and this is kind of has the same dynamic with these oracles and these stalkers. herO is trying to find any damage he can get and actually being able to whittle away at Maru quite a bit here.
What was the name of those two? Frost. That was the map that you saw that a lot.
Which one was it?
Frost. And then there was another one that was like really bad, where you had this huge side of the main to blink into.
I know what map it is. Flash
like
killed me in IAM with a proxy factory on that map, but I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. Started with a Y. I can't recall.
I think you're right, yeah.
Anyways.
These Stasis have actually been catching a lot of units. It's unfortunate there isn't enough of a Stalker Ball to really punish here.
Yeah, the Raven gonna spot that one. Blinks away after a tag. That 4th Nexus is going up, and he's going into double Robo Colossus, it looks like. But is he going to have those in time for Maru's first push?
Well, Maru, I think, only has 2 Vikings right now, maybe even 1. And Colossi, once you get like a good number of them, if he goes to Robo Colossus and gets like up to 3, that's a really good mass, because if you get a nice engagement, the Colossi, they're going to do a lot of damage before they die, oftentimes. And then if you go Disruptor behind that, you have a lot of kind of residual AoE damage that can carry you through the rest of the engagements. And man, really finding a lot of value with these oracles. I was doubting this earlier, but herO just showing fantastic control, just getting complete information. He tags the army again, just getting stasises and blink ups and SCV kills and everything.
Stalker's still roaming about. I do love the little groups that he's running around with. He's finding so much to get done.
He's on his way to +3 ground weapons as well, which with Colossi,
nice. Yeah,
that's pretty powerful. Those
really is.
Thermal land scales pretty well.
But Maru has stayed pretty calm during all of this. His army supply is just a little bit higher right now. Still massing up those Vikings as well, which, you know, obviously the Colossi are going to be the backbone of this army.
I'm wondering if he's going to cut or if he's going to try and transition to something else, and now going into 1 Immortal. So maybe going just for 3 or 4 Colossi, which does kind of seem like the magic number for these PvT engagements.
Yeah, 3 has for a long time kind of been generally agreed upon as just a really good number of Colossi to have. And he goes Templar Archive. Okay.
Nice.
Honestly, though, I think you're right. I really want to see at least a couple Disruptors. Like, the Disruptors are so helpful. You know, just having 1 or 2 in there, you can save yourself so often with that.
Especially against Ghosts if you're going Templar, because Ghosts, they're so mobile. Oftentimes you either have to the Terran player will either have to have the Ghost be far away enough from the Disruptors that they can dodge the shots anyway, because they're hard to split. They don't really outrun the Disruption ball, whatever you want to call it. And actually, those are 3 Stargates going down as well. Man, herO is really gearing up for the late game here.
Dude, what if he wins the macro game after losing the cheese? That would be pretty sick.
He's been handicapping himself this entire time.
Yeah. It's like, oh, damn, man. That's pretty sick. Okay, I'm not sure what these Oracles are really doing, but okay, starts to attack in now, blinks forward, targets down Siege Tanks oh so quickly. You know what? He gets double disabled though. I didn't even see that happen. I was wondering what the hell was going on.
Oh, this has actually been really good. Yeah, you got the Siege Tanks there. All the Colossi survived. The Stalkers picked off a Siege Tank and a number of Vikings, and he's going to go in for round 2 right now. The Raven has no energy. There's 1 less Siege Tank. The Vikings are mostly dead.
Yeah,
oh my goodness, herO with just absolutely amazing play. Kind of putting Maru up against the ropes right now.
Walks back into a mine, unfortunately loses that last Colossi, but will back up. Fleet Beacon is on the way. Another Oracle being made here as well. I mean, I guess he's still got 3 of them. Why not get a 4th?
Maru has 4 command centers in his main base right now. I guess he just doesn't feel like he has any map control to build these on the low ground. He wants to float them all over and build planetaries, but going into Storm, it seems like he's
Are we just going to see
Colossi.
carriers? Is that the plan? Because he has so many of these Oracles right now. I do wonder if there's any chance we'll see Tempest. I know I'm such a Tempest fanboy, but
I feel like this isn't the situation for Tempest, but maybe I'm wrong.
Every situation is for Tempest, okay?
Right. Triple carrier production coming in right now.
Not this situation, though.
They honestly, they still have value, though. If you want to mix in, like, even if you go up to 1 or 2 Colossus, I mean, the Viking count, being able to contest that with the Oracles, it's constant value like that you can get from, like, the range damage of the Tempest is so good. Anytime you can whittle away without taking damage yourself is fantastic.
Not as much herO's style regardless, right? He's so active and aggressive. Look at how active he's been this game. He's just rotating around. He's got, like, does he have 4 Oracles right now? He's consistently tagging everywhere and just rotating around and trying to poke in. But the sensor towers are making this harder. Look, he actually he scans right on top of the army that's right outside of this little area. Maru is starting to catch on to. Well, he's starting to catch on. He's like, okay, he's rotating around all the time. He's trying to find all these angles to come in at.
Probably trying to decide whether he can, like, float a command center over there or not, but
maybe.
All right, that planetary will get up. In the meantime, here we're going to try and see if we can find some damage over here in the north side of the map, but that's a pretty powerful bio army, especially with good EMPs like that one. And herO, I think right now, probably looking to maybe rendezvous all of these forces together now that the first carriers are coming out. And I'm loving this late game transition, getting DTs up. I'm sure we'll see DT Blink go after that planetary fortress in a couple of minutes as well.
Well, herO's putting out a beautiful late game right now. He is actually getting the Tempest upgrade at this point. He's adding in Disruptors as well.
He's doing everything we said he should.
Dude, he's amazing. And with that 5th base, it wasn't the 5th that I thought he would take. But I guess if you're going to take that 5th, probably you should focus your aggression in that area as well, because you're going to cover it. He takes a 6th base as well. Holy crap. Like,
I like those base positions, though, too, because, I mean, those are the ones... What, 7th? He's just throwing down Nexus like it's nothing.
Dude, just Nexus is everywhere. I love it.
Just keep taking bases.
He's playing like it's Brood War Protoss versus Terran.
But I like this, though, because the way that he's playing, he's constantly rotating on Maru's side of the map and keeping him contained. His army's going to be around this location anyway, and now Maru is wise to the carrier transition, but loses 2 or 3 Vikings for free right there, kind of caught off guard by that. The Disruptors are going to be really great against the Ghost. Like, everything is looking great for herO right now, but again, like, these bases, like, Maru's army is going to stay around this general area pretty much all the time, and if it dies, he's probably dead.
Yeah, so, I would definitely agree with that. Maru cannot lose his army. Look at the well, I guess the income is actually fine for Maru because he does have mules dropping down absolutely everywhere.
But if he loses
additional base,
this base though, it's so critical. So many of these other bases are mined out. Oh, that's a nice Storm 2. Really getting any kind of damage he can.
Well, he's covering
these
his retreat as
EMPs?
well. Great EMPs are going down.
Yep, Archons get morphed immediately there, but still disruptors, they do pretty reliable damage if you can land it hot, if you can land the hits. And carriers right now, that's a lot of them. I think he has +2 or +3 air weapons along the way. herO just on top of his upgrade game.
And actually, Maru has +2 ship weapons for his Vikings also.
Okay.
So pretty nice to keep up on that regard. Starts his +3 now. More High Templars rallying down. I love that he took the 3 Nexuses in the bottom right.
They're all in one concentrated location, and if you are playing very actively, it's really easy to bounce your army over there and defend them. And now Maru also only has one real possible expansion to try and take.
Yeah. Well, he's actually sending this group over, so it looks like he can probably kill at least one of these bases. EMP goes down, going to target this Nexus so quickly.
That's fine, though.
Yeah, the army coming down to, well, he's going to need to clean this up. He actually has built cannons, and I love it. The batteries and cannons all over the place.
Those
Just
are
trying to slow it.
Oh, beautiful storms coming out of that warp prism, and all these Marauders are going to get cleaned up right there. And Maru right now with his economy, he can't really afford to be bleeding units. He did get to kill one of those Nexuses, but the value isn't really there because it doesn't really hinder. I mean, he just builds another one on the other side of the map, and herO is mining as efficiently as he possibly can right now. I mean, he has so many patches to work with.
Yeah. Taking another base up at 12 o'clock as well.
Going back into Colossi, I love it. He's just completely filling out like the ultimate Protoss army, everything from the tech tree.
Well, the Ghosts have become so critical at this point. I think the Colossi are really nice to kind of poke them back a little bit.
That's right.
Look at that every time. Look at that. Just beautiful. Beautiful EMPs all over the army.
And they have max energy too. Those Ghosts are not going to run out of EMPs anytime soon.
Certainly not. Quite a few Liberators and Vikings being added in.
And I think this was a transition that herO was kind of anticipating with the Tempest upgrade. I wouldn't be surprised if after the next trade, when he loses some of his army supply, that he goes back into Tempest to kind of deal with the Sky Terran, because Sky Terran is, it kind of gets a bad rap, but it's very hard to deal with in the late game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you have Tempest plus you're tagging them, you can kind of push them back because your range is so significant. If they dive, you have the High Templar, right?
Right.
Where it's like, okay, yeah, you have 20 Vikings, but I just did 1,000 damage to them with one spell.
And the Ghosts can't really close the gap because of the Disruptors. It's a nice pick-up there, though.
It's quite a dance that you have late game in this matchup. But look at Maru just start to seal everything up. He's uniquely good at this.
Yeah.
There's, like, I think only TY was the same level as him at this.
You got to play really slow in this position as Maru and just try and be as cost efficient as possible, and he's starting to do it. But I love this by herO. He's losing army supply and he's remaxing on DTs. Unfortunately, this army for Maru is in position, so he's not able to snipe that planetary, but you know he's got it on his mind.
Yeah.
And these critical bases for Maru on the outposts, this one right here, with 17 SCVs mining, and the one all the way up to the northwest, those bases are so essential right now because pretty much everything else is mined out, and that bank is not going to grow any larger if those bases go down. And here we go. DT Blink right onto the planetary, and I think he's going to get it.
Yeah.
Just the right amount. DT's run away.
There's another command center waiting right there to take its place.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I think you got to... the DT Blink stuff has been popular for a really long time. Maybe people should start actually surrounding like half of the planetary with depots or something, you know? Just
That's a good idea,
or
yeah.
put your turrets there right next to it. Just like block it so the surface area doesn't exist.
I hadn't even...
I see so many planetaries die like that. It's like, well, if they're always going to die to the DTs and the DTs half get away, make an orbital, I don't know, just this isn't working.
It seemed like Maru was kind of anticipating it too with all the extra command centers. Actually, if you look at the minimap right now, I think it just threw down like 3 more.
I think you're right, actually,
like, yeah, you kill any planetary, I'm just going to put it right back there. And man, this is like, he's playing Bio, but he's playing this like a mech Terran right now in terms of just slowly taking every single corner of the map. And this is starting to almost look like we might go to a mined out PBT. I mean,
it's possible.
Pretty much every single base is being taken right now.
Yeah. We have a single nuke. I have seen games where Maru has gone for mass nukes against Protoss as well. I haven't seen him win those games, but I wonder if that's going to be something on the cards in a little bit.
The amount of value that they give for their cost, it's what, like 100 for a nuke or something like that?
And generally speaking, you don't really use all your gas, right, as Terran. So a lot of times I would just say consider it as 100 minerals, right?
And if you consider the damage that you do to like buildings, if you actually get a nuke off on some kind of stray expansion, like killing photon cannons or shield batteries, they got to rebuild those to actually keep that base safe, and then suddenly you're just whittling away at the Protoss bank because they got to rebuild all those defensive structures, and there's only so many minerals on the map.
Yep. By the way, we did see there herO targeting down his own immortals. Oftentimes in this type of situation, that's smart. When you throw away a high-value unit like that, and you're like, well, I could kill a turret with it before it dies. Oftentimes, it's actually better to just kill it yourself, because it cues your opponent into what you're doing. They're like, okay, he's actually fully transitioning now, and they'll start scanning if we're looking for that. So I think that's a smart idea for him to try to hide that.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And he's doing it again here with the Colossi, yeah.
He's going full Sky Toss.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these ground units are not really cutting it anymore.
It's hard to have him cut with them. This Terran bio army for Maru, I mean, you get enough fully upgraded Marines, Marauders with Ghosts, and it's a pretty formidable army to deal with. You add Liberators and Siege Tanks on top of that, and these entrenched positions, you can't really break into them. I mean, herO's trying to find any kind of damage that he can, but slowly but surely, if you look at the bottom, Maru has been eating away at herO's kind of his bank.
Yeah.
Meantime, his is growing as he takes more of these bases, and that's the kind of game that you need to play in this situation.
Oh, yeah. Did he kill the Colossi and then make another one to refill it? That might have been a misclick before. He has 3 Colossi now. I don't believe he...
Maybe he has Stargates and... Huh.
Not sure.
I don't know if he did. If he did, it's possible because you press C for both of them if he has Stargates and Robos in the same hotkey.
Oh, that's true too. Or, I mean, also when you're attacking them around, occasionally you can click on your own unit.
This entrenched position, though, is just, it's so tough to get anything done. And even these ZTs, I mean, that's expensive. That's a lot of resources down the drain right there. And
yeah. And, like, I think you can look at a game like this as well and go from, I'm going to get a tempo victory, right? Because I think when you're using Blink DTs to kill planetaries, you're looking for more of a tempo, I'm getting ahead of you, you're not able to refill type of win.
Right.
But when it gets like this, I think you have to look at it as I have to be more cost efficient than you. And if you don't switch that mindset, you're going to waste too much. And your opponent's going to be more cost efficient, and you both have about half the map, and that's it. So I think the time for Blink DTs suiciding onto planetaries has passed. This game is no longer about that.
Little bit of a skirmish here as the Vikings try to find some damage on the carriers, and yep, he picks some off and then goes right back home, so even more damage being done. And we saw it very briefly in the bottom right of the screen. I think herO might have lost something like 10,000 more resources this game, if I'm not mistaken, which sounds about right, but 10,000 resources, I don't know exactly how many are on any individual base in terms of minerals, but 10K is a lot to lose.
Yeah, that can definitely be what changes the entire game. He's going to need some cost efficiency here, but he doesn't have real anti-Viking tech. Like, he has Storms and Stalkers, and that's it.
Ghosts are even trying to close the gap a little bit. He's actually picking off a good number of Ghosts, which is good. He is getting some nice damage done there, but at the same time, he lost so many carriers. I mean, this bank from herO, once he starts remaxing, I'm not really sure what's going to be left of it. And at this point, Maru has more bases, and he has the fresh bases. I guess herO might actually still have more bases, but Maru is the one that has everything fresh.
Yeah, that's very true. He's refilling carriers.
I don't think the carriers are working. I feel like he needs Tempest or Oracles or something to try and...
I didn't want to be the one to say it again, but...
No, you're right.
Tempests here are going to grind out way more value than carriers. Carriers do way more damage, but with Tempest, you can actually, like, for instance, kill these missile turrets like instantaneously, and it doesn't cost you interceptor money. You can tag the Vikings and push those back.
Same with Liberators when they see stuff in position.
Yes, you can actually just grind things down with Tempest.
And I feel like that's the game you have to play in this situation. There's no way you're going to kill Maru at this point. You have to pretty much, unless you can contain him and not let him take any more bases from this position, which is really hard to do.
That's hard to do.
It's very hard to do. Then if you can't do that, you need to be more cost efficient than him. And that is such an uphill battle right now. And I think Maru scans that Protoss army and it's like, oh, more of the same.
Yeah, and it is. He's got like all these blink Dark Templars, which aren't going to do anything against mass missile turret, mass planetary,
even
mass
the
ghost.
snipes coming off on them. And DT is 250 resources. Or I mean, 2 DTs is 250. Like that's a lot of money going down.
They're not cheap, and yeah, I'm not liking this composition for where we're at in the game right now. Unfortunately for herO, I think he's played a beautiful game, but I think he's stuck in one mode.
Yeah, I think you said it earlier in terms of having to shift gears from playing it for tempo and playing it for cost efficiency, because this army composition just doesn't cut it. There's just no real way to find any kind of meaningful damage. I mean, the only thing he's really killed so far the past maybe 10 minutes has been a couple buildings, and he's lost more resources and DTs doing that than he has actually killed in like planetary fortresses and turrets and stuff. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, these are now doing something at least. Not the most valuable area on the map right now, but trying to get something done. Loses another carrier there, so a little bit painful. And if Maru succeeds in getting that top left base, he's officially got half the map, right?
I think so.
Well,
he
I guess
still
there's
needs
that pocket base.
Yeah, he still needs the base in the middle, but
yeah, he can get that later though.
I feel like it's inevitable.
Yeah, herO can't get that one, so that one he doesn't have to worry about.
herO just trying to poke and prod. Here he comes again, this expansion, but that is a lot of turrets, a lot of Vikings. All the interceptors are dead. I mean, it's just so tough to engage into this. I feel like he needs Tempest, and he's making the transition now, building 6 at a time, but it's scary.
He still has money.
Right.
Like he's not dried out yet. He's still mining from quite a few patches. Oh wow, that was very brave of those stalkers.
Maybe he just doesn't really need the supply, and he. Oh God, no, those rally. They're still moving.
Please don't have a bad rally.
They're still moving. Yep.
Oh no! And now he knows about the Tempest switch.
Actually surprised how long it took that Tempest to go down. That was a lot of shots. Tankier than I remember, but I like this now that he's got the Tempest out. I feel like he has the opportunity to find more damage. Like you said, he isn't dry yet, but Maru's side of the map does have more resources because he was so much more slow with his expansion. So really, now is the time for herO to try and whittle away everything that he can, get any kind of cost efficiency and value out of these Tempests, and he's starting to do it. He's starting to pick off Liberators.
You can see just how good they are in this situation. Like, four-shotting a turret is amazing, and killing off these Liberators that quickly. Look, he has to run. Like, Maru's having to back up here, which is, like, he's been pushing forward for a long time now, and now I think herO does have the opportunity to push him back.
Some oracles with this would be fantastic, too. I see he has one on the map. Not quite sure where it is.
Would love to see that added, though. You're definitely right about that. Okay, Ghost coming up, trying to throw down some EMPs. The DT Swarm moving in once again. He has been loving these giant amounts of DTs going in.
Oh, no. Must have got caught out of position there, but that means no recall for these DTs, and if they get caught, that's a lot of damage going down. He will be able to get a good bit of the production here, but again, the Bank of Maru is quite strong. I'm trying to do the mental calculus on really where both of these players are at right now, because there's been so much trading and there's so much that's happened across the map, but
I think right now Maru is in just a slightly better position, but if he loses this base, then herO is in a better position for sure.
His gas bank is almost depleted now, though, and that's
he does need more. But you know, herO still does have those bottom right bases that are pretty healthy at the moment. Just to throw out there.
Pretty good engagement coming in here. He's traded quite efficiently. This is the kind of fight that herO needed.
Looking pretty good. Okay, gets rid of all the Liberators, blinks away. He needs to refill this army. You're right, his gas is getting pretty darn low.
Only one extractor at those expansions.
Only 2 probes on that one, but still mining an okay amount.
Only 1 on these. That's a little bit.
Yeah,
that's a little bit worse.
He needs to work on how his probes are mining right now. Get that gas income back up a little bit.
It's so tough though when there's so much going on. I mean, these guys are probably playing at 300 actions per minute, and it's tough. herO actually making a really big push right now after taking out some of this production. That disruptor hit coming in.
Oh.
It's a good shot off. I don't know though. That's a big scary Terran army, and these missile turrets coming up clutch as well.
Oh my God! On the liberation zones, is he going to give it up here?
I think
he loses
so.
Everything.
500 gas in the bank. That one stalker trying to get something done, but
16 zealots being warped in. That's not it.
No, there's no gas income.
But the thing is, he has a bunch of probes that should be on gas that are not right now.
Right, it's a little unfortunate here, and he's going to lose the bases that should have been mining gas from the get-go. If I'm not mistaken, he has like 4 or 5 bases that are already mined out in gas, and maybe not even going to be able to get this planetary with repair. Just really hurts.
Man.
Building armor is a good upgrade.
I guess so.
Maybe?
Yeah, he's going to get it.
Okay.
All right, a lot of these bases going down.
That nuke finally getting some value in. It's been waiting for a long time.
Yeah.
I wonder if Maru forgot about it. It's been quite a ways away, but herO maybe just kind of digesting this loss now.
Yeah,
I mean,
look at how much more cost efficient Maru was.
60
Twice
DTs.
the gas. Oh God.
60 DTs have died this game.
17,000 mineral addition, like more efficiency from Maru, and twice as much gas efficiency. 12,000 more gas
herO
efficiency.
was starting to make things work when he got his Tempest count up, and I feel like maybe it's just kind of being out of the loop a little bit and how late game PvT is played. It has been quite a while before, or it has been quite a while since herO has played this really top level.
Wow.
StarCraft, but yeah, it's.
Well, he played it today. This game was a beautiful game. I think he put out a great game. He was in the lead for quite some time, but Maru is really a singular master of this from the Terran side.
His late game is exceptional, and
yeah, it is.
maybe if herO had tried to transition into Tempest earlier, he would have been able to trade more cost efficiently, and maybe this game would look different. Maybe those bases get denied and Maru is contained. But
he was losing, like his carriers didn't actually do anything.
If anything, they might have been a net negative. I mean, spent so many resources on not only the carriers but the interceptors, and they never really traded cost efficiently with anything.
GG.
That's GG. Honestly, an excellent effort there by herO.
Great game.
It's a 3-0 sweep for Maru, but herO, I mean, he put himself in opportunity to succeed in game number 1 and in game number 3. Just not quite able to clutch it out, but Maru, he's best in the world for a reason.
Yeah, just absolutely killing it here today. herO, I think we're going to see him in the first season of GSL Code S next season, or next year rather. But that's it for now. That's it for him.
It was a good performance. Yeah, I think he could probably go home and feel happy about this. It's probably ahead of, it's certainly ahead of where I would have expected him to be after such a short return to StarCraft, you know?
Yeah, and a lot of his ideas I liked, like the one gate third base. Like that's an older style, but it actually seemed like it fit there, and then he was just a little bit too greedy with a double forge earlier. And yeah, I think herO, obviously, he's shown that he can be a championship level player before, and I think he'll do that again. Maru, of course, has to be the favorite of every turn he goes in, including this one. And with that match, we do have our top 4.
That's right.
Quite a top 4 that it is. Cure versus Rogue, Solar versus Maru. The Protoss are all dead this time. They normally win Super Tournaments, so that's actually a nice change. But yeah, the finals, guys, is going to be Thursday as well as the round of 4. It is going to be amazing. Make sure that you are tuning into that. What do you think this is going to look like?
Cure versus Rogue is going to be a bloodbath. I honestly don't know who's going to take that. Cure coming off a GSL championship victory last season, but Rogue looking to be in great form himself. And Solar and Maru is a little tough because Solar, he is kind of coming through in this Super Tournament showing kind of a resurgence, kind of a renaissance in his old play style. It's been impressive, but Maru, he is the best in the world. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take him down.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine Solar being able to beat Maru, but the way Solar is playing is so much better than what we've seen in the past.
That's true.
I'm hoping that he puts up an amazing series against Maru. I mean, I look at this, I just always favor Rogue in every single tournament. This guy knows how to win.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a couple of great TVZs that we have for you on Thursday. Definitely do make sure to tune into that. And maybe a TVZ finals, who knows?
Could be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Maru and Rogue go at it right there in the finals.
Yeah, and I wonder if it did turn into like a Cure, like if it's Cure versus Solar, of course Cure has a good chance because he just beat Rogue. But if it's Cure versus Maru, if that happens, can he take down Maru TVT? That's, I don't know.
I don't know where those players really stand in TVT. I mean, Cure, again, riding off a lot of momentum with this GSL victory. He's been doing well in online matches. He's been playing all the ESL Cups. I mean, this is a guy that's been grinding, too. Looking to be in good form, but taking down Maru, always a challenge.
Indeed. Guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Thursday with the round of 4 and finals. We'll see you then.